John Sweeney, the deadline for making an IRA contribution is next week, tax day, April 15th. But according to Fidelity, 40% of people wait until the last 3 weeks before making that contribution. What's the downside to procrastinating?
So procrastination, of course, costs you money, whether it's opportunity cost or what have you. If you think about the market between last April and this April, it's up 10%. So if that contribution that you made last April was $5,500, it'd be worth almost $6,000 now. Can't guarantee what's going to happen next year, but the point is get in the market and don't wait for the deadline to make that contribution.
And what you found is that a lot of people are just scanning their checks mobily and doing it that way. You've seen a rise in technology. It's pretty easy now, right?
Absolutely. We try and make it as easy as possible for people to contribute. So the mobile check deposit obviously makes it very simple for you to take a picture of your own check. While you've logged into your account, it deposits directly into your account. So you don't have to go to the branch. You don't have to mail it in anymore. We make it as simple as possible for people to do that.
And the other thing that you found is that 80% of people under 30, this millennial generation, they're going into Roth IRAs. Is that the right move?
So for them, what they're considering are two things. A, they are qualified from an income standpoint. Many younger people qualify for the Roth from a contribution limit standpoint. But the second thing that is a consideration for anybody is to think about Roths are essentially a provision for the government to pull tax revenues forward. So if you think about a traditional IRA or 401k, we're going to have to pay taxes on those dollars when we remove them, when we retire. What the Roth allows you to do is to pay the taxes on those dollars today and then withdraw them tax-free when you retire. So today's tax rates are historically low, and so a couple of years ago when you saw a lot of people converting to Roth, it was because they were anticipating that perhaps taxes might rise, particularly on upper income folks in the future in order to pay for future liabilities.
And what are you seeing in terms of conversions? Lots of people rushing to the Roth?
Not as much anymore, but there's a consistent consideration. So a couple of years ago, before a lot of the tax increases went through, there were a lot of people who had IRAs and converted them to Roth status, essentially took the tax bite in that current year. Because tax rates have stabilized, and that is not a debate in Congress recently, we're seeing that the conversions tend to be more normal. And we think about it as a tax diversification play. So in the same way that you think about asset diversification, cash, bonds, and stocks, you think about tax diversification. You've got pre-tax accounts, which are Roths, traditional IRAs and 401ks. You've got accounts that are in a post-tax status, like a Roth, where you've already paid the tax, and then you've got taxable assets. So again, it's a tax diversification play. We don't know what the tax landscape will look like when you retire, but it gives you options.
And then finally, any last-minute tips for the procrastinators out there who still want to fund that IRA before tax day?
So think about setting up a regular contribution plan. So much like you might do if you have access to a 401k plan, your Roth or your traditional IRA can be contributed with about $100 a week. It'll hit you to that $5,500 limit if you make that regular contribution. It won't feel so onerous out of your pocketbook when it comes to April 15th and you're trying to scrounge around for $5,500.
All right, thanks a lot, John.
Greg, pleasure. Thank you.
And thank you for watching The Street.